Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. It is May 13th, 2020. Like I have said before, the months are just flying by. Here we are in mid-May, which means, it's almost June. I don't want to rush anything because I don't like to rush our time away, but the time certainly is going fast. So I'm going to dive right in today because we have a lot to cover today. But before I get started with that, I just want to say, please make sure that students are watching this video because we have some new topics, and the assignments that are in Seesaw today should be able to be done independently, okay? If mistakes are made, that's okay. You'll notice that your writing assignment today has to do with the power of yet, which talks about, there are things that we can't do yet. Of course, you're not going to be able to hop right on Seesaw and be able to use all the tools and do everything perfectly the first time. It's new, it's technology, it's different than what you're used to. There's lots of different factors to going into making Seesaw a little bit difficult. That doesn't mean you can't do it, okay? So the more students practice independent work, the better they'll get at it. Now, if you submit something that isn't quite what I'm looking for, please, again, I know I've said this many times, but don't worry about it. I'm going to give you a comment on what you need to fix, and then you get to go back and fix it. So please, 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 students, watch this video and try to do the things on your own. You know how important that is to me, that you're able to do that as you move on through the grades, especially if you're a fifth grader going into sixth grade. That's going to be super important for you. So I just want you to give it your best shot, okay? We have 3 different topics today. We have math, we have writing, and then I want to talk to you a little bit about what Mr. Trevor is going to talk about tomorrow on our Zoom for social skills. Okay, so I'm going to dive right in with math because that is the first thing that I have here. Yesterday, the assignment was to just spot different triangles. Unfortunately, not a lot of people got to that assignment yesterday because of my technical difficulties. I didn't get to get the video out till later. I didn't get the code out until later. So please include that in today's assignment. I do have that written on my new checklist here. So, keep in mind that Amazon card. That's all I'm going to say about that. So the assignment for yesterday was literally just to investigate a picture full of, it had a big shape and then lots of little triangles and some big triangles within that shape. Your job was to investigate, really look closely and find as many triangles as you could. So I still want you to do that first. Please do that assignment first before you get to today's assignment, which is also about angles and triangles and squares. So you'll find out what I mean right now. Yesterday, whoops, that's upside down. Yesterday we talked about triangles, different shapes of triangles, different sizes of triangles. This one, as you can see, has a very long bottom, shorter bottom, medium bottom. This one's super tall and skinny. This one is a lot bigger. As we move on with triangles and angles, we will start measuring them, and you will see that there's different names for these different types of triangles. Within the word triangle, it's the word angle. Well, in every triangle, there are 3 angles, okay? This angle, it would be 1, this one would be 2, and of course this would be 3. I have shown them here with that symbol, and that is what we use to show an angle. So you will see that all triangles have 3 angles. Part of your assignment today is looking for different angles in real life, so you'll see what that's all about too. Okay, so triangles all have angles within them. As we start measuring angles, the first thing we're going to talk about is the 90-degree angle, and that is with a straight line going up and a straight line going across, kind of in the shape of an L. Not kind of, it is in the shape of an L, unless it's of course backwards or upside down or whatever. So this would be your right angle. This is how we identify a right angle. It has a little box in the corner. When it's a right angle, it measures at 90 degrees, which I'll show you later in a triangle so you can kind of see what I mean by that. So this is an example of a right angle. You also have a video in your email today that talks about right angles and kind of tells you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is called a right angle. measures at 90 degrees. Again, I will show you that in just a few minutes. Now, triangles aren't the only shapes that have angles to them. If you look at a square, how many angles does that have? It happens to have 4 90-degree angles. And we know that because there's that L, there's a backwards L, here's an upside down L, and here's another one. So any way you turn it, you can see those 90-degree angles. So if you have a TV, those have 90-degree angles. So that would be a real life 90-degree angle. Okay, so squares have 90-degree angles. Rectangles also have 4 90-degree angles. And I have marked those with that little box in the corner, as you can see. Then we move on to the triangle. Okay, as we know, triangles only have 3 angles to them. When you see a right triangle, that is exactly what it looks like. You see that backwards L. I have identified it with the box in the corner, and it measures at 90 degrees. Okay, so you can find 90-degree angles in triangles, squares, rectangles, and other shapes as well. But you do have to make sure it has that straight up and down line going one way, as we call vertical, and the straight line going across, as we call horizontal. 90-degree angle. Okay, so in the video you watched today, the person speaking is going to be talking about angles that are more and less than 90 degrees. Now this would be a 90-degree angle. This would not be a 90-degree angle because I cannot make a perfect square in that corner right here. I have to make that curved line that I showed you in the first picture because there's no 90-degree angles in there, okay? So your angle could be less than 90 degrees, it could be more than 90 degrees, or it could be 90 degrees. Okay, here's another example. This angle shows more than 90 degrees. Now, if I drew a line, let's see if I can do this, straight up, let me just do that on the table here, it's a little better. If I drew the line straight up, now it's a 90-degree angle, and I would show that by putting that box in the corner. Okay, but it's not, it's bigger. This would be less than 90 degrees because this line would need to be going straight up and down for it to be a 90-degree angle. Make sense? Hopefully from that explanation and from watching the video, that will start making more and more sense as you go along. Okay, so your math assignment today, you are finding right angles, and in another part of the assignment, you're going around your house and seeing if you can find some things that have 90-degree angles. I already gave you one clue earlier, so I'm not going to give you any more clues. I want you to find them on your own. Follow the prompts on that seesaw activity so that you can complete that also. Okay? Let's see. So that would be our math portion. The writing portion is talking about the power of yet. Now, the video that is shown on the activity in Seesaw is a Sesame Street video, and it's really great talking about mindset, talking about believing that you can do better, and kind of, you know, if we continuously tell ourselves that we can't do something or we don't want to do something, that's what our mind and our heart is going to feel, and that is what we're going to continue to do. So if you're a person that hasn't done many assignments, or maybe you haven't done any assignments at all, you're probably saying to yourself every day, oh, I don't want to, I don't know how to use Seesaw, I'm no good at this, I don't want to. Those are all negative comments. And in your heart, that's what you're going to start feeling. Okay, that's just how our bodies as human beings work. Our thoughts create our feelings. Our feelings then create our behaviors. We don't just have these behaviors and have these things going on in our life for no reason. It all starts with our mindset. And you know, in the classroom, we talk about that all the time. And I try to practice that all the time for myself because I'm only human too. Things that get complicated, it's easy sometimes to say, I can't do that, and walk away and never learn from it. So it does take effort, but it will be worth it, especially at your age and as you're moving on in elementary school and going into junior high and so on and so forth. It's so powerful to learn from your mistakes, accept that you made a mistake. But the trick about that is not just thinking, oh, it's okay to make a mistake, who cares? I don't care if I do it wrong every single time. The trick is to say, okay, now what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time to kind of scoot my learning ahead a little bit, right? You want to always be getting better and better and better until you master it. Make sense? I hope so. Because not only are you going to be watching that video today and doing the assignment that goes with it, but we've talked about that a lot in class, and it is an important piece of my belief, not only as a teacher, but as a person. So I hope that you have a little bit of fun with that. The video is really cute, so enjoy. Okay, now moving on to Mr. Trevor. Mr. Trevor tomorrow is going to be talking about, and I know he mentioned this on our Tuesday Zoom a little bit, he's going to be talking about conflict resolution. Now, you may be thinking, I don't even know what that means. 2 words, conflict, an argument, not getting along with someone, you're butting heads with someone. That's a conflict. You have different interests, you have different ways of thinking, and you just can't quite get it together. That's a conflict, right? I'm sure you've had plenty of conflicts in your life. I have 2 older brothers. Trust me, we had plenty of conflicts growing up. So we have conflict, and then the next word is resolution. A resolution is something that you fix and something that you do better and something that you work on. So if you're having a conflict maybe with a family member or a friend, a neighbor, something like that, you find a way to resolve it. You find a way to make it better. Maybe you have to stop staring at the person. They think you're staring at them every time you look at them. Well, maybe you can make a little bit of an effort to not do that. That way it doesn't cause an argument between the 2 of you and you both feel better and you're able to move on. So that is conflict resolution, making something better with someone, learning how to have a healthy way of getting out of an argument or a disagreement. Make sense? I hope so. And if it doesn't make too much sense, hopefully by the end of Mr. Trevor's lesson tomorrow on our Zoom, it will definitely make more sense. Okay? All right, so in closing, I know that I talked yesterday a little bit about reading groups. I'm trying to fine-tune that so that Zoom works a little better. With Zoom, there's like a delay in talking, so we have to all work together on that. So I'm just trying to decide what will be the best way for you guys to get through those reading books. And then the next thing is that Mr. Popper's Penguins. I'm hoping to start you off on that this weekend. I'll give you your first assignment for that on Friday so that you can start getting through that book. Hopefully, I would love to get through that book before we are done for the 2020 school year. That would be awesome. So that is my goal. I believe that's it, guys. So we had some math today, we have some writing, and tomorrow you'll have Mr. Trevor's lesson about conflict resolution. So today in your email, you not only have this wonderful video, you will have your Seesaw code for today, you will have the Zoom information for tomorrow at 10 a.m., as always on Thursdays. You will have a video to watch about right angles, just to kind of give you a little more background and a little more foundation for what the heck I'm talking about. And please get caught up from yesterday's assignments and today's assignments so that you are keeping up with that checklist and I don't have to send you a bunch of missing assignments through your email. Okay, again, as I said in the beginning of this video, students, hopefully you could hang in there. I know this was an almost 15-minute video, but just think, usually you have to listen to me talking all day long, so 15 minutes isn't too bad. If you missed anything, rewind it and watch it again so you can get those assignments done. Okay? Everybody have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you all on Zoom tomorrow. See you later.